Welcome to a journey that will transform the way you think, speak, and live. In 2026, today we are unlocking the hidden power of I am, the most powerful declaration you will ever speak. These are not just words, they are identity-shaping affirmations that align your mind, body, and spirit with wealth, health, prosperity, and true happiness. Get ready to feel the energy, focus your mind, and step into the version of yourself that is unstoppable, abundant, and full of purpose. Before anything around you changes, something within you must be redefined. Life does not respond to effort first. It responds to identity. You can work hard, pray hard, and desire deeply, yet still remain stuck if your inner definition has not shifted. The greatest limitation a person can experience is not lack of resources, opportunity, or education, but a misunderstanding of who they are. When identity is unclear, purpose is abused, potential is wasted, and energy is scattered. Every action you take is simply a reflection of what you believe about yourself. You never rise above your self-image, and you never outperform your inner belief system. Destiny is not accidental. It is drawn toward the strongest self-concept operating inside you. If you see yourself as small, life will keep giving you small outcomes. If you see yourself as inadequate, you will subconsciously reject opportunities that require confidence. If you see yourself as capable, disciplined, and valuable, your decisions begin to align with that belief automatically. You do not need external motivation when identity is settled. Identity creates consistency without effort. It governs habits, influences choices, and determines what you tolerate. What you permit in your life is a confession of how you see yourself. When identity changes, standards rise. When standards rise, behavior changes. When behavior changes, results follow. Many people attempt to change their future by adjusting circumstances. But the future is not altered by circumstances. It is altered by conviction. You cannot live a life that contradicts your self-definition for long. Eventually, your actions will bend back to match who you believe you are. That is why growth feels uncomfortable at first, because the old identity resists the new level. But once identity catches up, progress becomes natural. Destiny is not something you chase. It is something you attract by alignment. You do not become successful by doing successful things occasionally. You become successful by becoming the kind of person for whom success is normal. This is why words matter, because words reveal and reinforce identity. The most powerful words a human being can speak are the words I am. Those two words function as a command to the mind, the body, and the subconscious. Whatever follows them becomes a blueprint. The mind does not argue with I am. It accepts it as instruction. When you repeatedly say I am tired, the body complies. When you say I am unlucky, the mind searches for evidence. When you say I am capable, behavior begins to shift in that direction. I am is not a statement of emotion. It is a declaration of ownership. It tells your inner world who is in charge and what direction to move. You may not feel strong when you say I am strong, but identity is not formed by feelings. It is formed by repetition and belief. Over time, the mind aligns with what it hears consistently. This is why careless language produces careless lives. You speak yourself into patterns long before you live them out. Declarations are not magic. They are alignment tools. They bring your thoughts, focus, and actions into agreement. When your words and beliefs are unified, power is released. Conflicted speech creates confused living. Aligned speech produces momentum. The reason many people sabotage themselves is because they verbally oppose the future they desire. They pray for growth but confess fear. They want abundance but declare lack. They desire peace but speak anxiety. When you intentionally declare I am, you are choosing identity over impulse. You are informing your mind who you are becoming before the evidence appears. This is not denial of reality, it is the shaping of reality. Every meaningful transformation begins with a spoken decision. What you repeatedly affirm becomes familiar, and what becomes familiar becomes comfortable. Comfort leads to consistency, and consistency creates results. Your words are setting boundaries for your life every day. They tell opportunity how close it can come. They tell fear how much authority it has. They tell success whether it is welcome or resisted. When I am aligns with truth, purpose, and clarity, your entire internal system begins to cooperate, and life starts responding not to struggle, but to certainty. Wealth is not first a number in a bank account. It is a condition of the mind. Money only amplifies the mindset that holds it. If thinking is limited, resources will be mismanaged. If thinking is disciplined, even small resources will multiply. Many people want wealth without realizing that wealth demands a different level of thinking, responsibility, and emotional maturity. Poverty is not only the absence of money, it is the presence of fear, lack thinking, and short-term vision. Until the mind is trained to recognize value, opportunity will pass unnoticed. A wealth-conscious mind does not chase money, it attracts value. It understands that money is a reward for solving problems, meeting needs, and delivering excellence. Wealth begins when you stop asking how much something costs and start asking what it is worth. Value-based thinking shifts focus from consumption to contribution. When you focus on adding value, compensation becomes a consequence, not a goal. The mind that seeks quick gain will always remain anxious, but the mind that seeks long-term growth operates in peace. Wealth thinking requires discipline. It understands delayed gratification and strategic patience. It does not react emotionally to circumstances, markets, or opinions. Instead, it responds with wisdom. A wealthy mindset plans, prepares, and positions itself. It respects time as an asset and treats learning as an investment. It does not envy success. It studies it. It does not resent wealth. It understands it. What you respect moves toward you. What you resent stays away. When the mind is aligned with abundance, it stops feeling threatened by the success of others and starts feeling inspired by possibility. True wealth also demands integrity. Without character, money becomes a burden. A sound mindset understands that wealth without structure collapses under pressure. That is why some people receive money and lose it quickly, while others receive little and build empires. The difference is not luck, it is mindset. When the mind is trained, wealth becomes sustainable. When the mind is careless, money becomes temporary. Wealth flows toward order, clarity, and purpose. Health operates on the same principle. The body responds to internal alignment before it responds to external treatment. Many physical conditions are intensified by mental tension, emotional imbalance, and chronic stress. When the mind is constantly in survival mode, the body suffers. Peace is not a luxury, it is a biological necessity. Alignment within creates stability. Without, health is not merely the absence of illness, it is the presence of harmony. A healthy mind gives instructions to a healthy body. Thoughts produce chemical responses. Fear releases toxins. Calm releases restoration. When a person lives in constant anxiety, the body remains in defense. When a person lives in clarity, the body enters recovery. This is why rest is powerful and why peace is productive. Health flows from rhythm, not rush. The body was designed to function best when the mind is settled. Alignment also requires listening. Many people ignore their bodies until pain forces attention. Wisdom listens early. Health-conscious living respects limits, honors rest, and chooses balance. It understands that overworking today creates breakdown tomorrow. Strength is not proven by exhaustion, it is proven by sustainability. A healthy life is built on consistency, not extremes. When the mind and body are aligned, energy increases naturally. Focus sharpens, immunity strengthens, emotional stability improves. The body responds positively when it feels safe, valued, and respected. Health is preserved when stress is managed, thoughts are guarded, and emotions are processed. Healing often begins when resistance ends. Just as wealth flows toward a prepared mind, health flows toward an aligned life. When thinking is clear and priorities are ordered, the body follows. Internal harmony produces external vitality. When you choose alignment over pressure, balance over burnout, and awareness over neglect, health becomes a natural outcome rather than a constant struggle. Prosperity is not merely a collection of possessions or bank balances. It is a reflection of the value you bring into the world. True prosperity flows to those who recognize opportunity, create solutions, and act with integrity. Many people desire prosperity but fail to understand that it is the natural consequence of purpose-driven effort. Prosperity is drawn to clarity, vision, and consistency. It does not respond to scattered energy or half-hearted attempts. When your mind is aligned with growth, prosperity becomes inevitable. It is not something you chase. It is something that responds to who you have become. Prosperity begins in thought, moves through action, and manifests in results. The way you think determines the quality of your decisions. If your mind dwells on limitation, scarcity, or fear, every action you take will be defensive, reactive, or hesitant. If your mind dwells on abundance, opportunity, and value, every action becomes deliberate, strategic, and confident. The world does not reward good intentions. It rewards prepared, disciplined, and persistent effort. When you operate from an identity of competence and worthiness, prosperity is drawn to you, and doors open where once there were walls. Prosperity also demands focus. The human mind can only pursue so many directions at once. Scattered energy produces scattered results. To attract real prosperity, you must identify what matters most, eliminate distractions, and commit to consistent execution. You must be willing to invest in yourself and your skills, not just chase immediate gain. True prosperity is sustainable because it is built on principles, not luck. Systems replace chance. Habits replace hope. Decisions based on vision replace reactions based on fear. Happiness is equally tied to identity and perspective. It is not granted by circumstances, earned by achievement, or bought with wealth. Happiness is a choice, a discipline, and an understanding of your worth. Many people spend their lives waiting for external validation, approval, recognition, or reward, without realizing that true contentment exists when you embrace who you are and the journey you are on. Happiness does not deny challenges. It transcends them. It is cultivated when you choose gratitude over resentment, clarity over confusion, and peace over chaos. Happiness is strengthened by alignment. When your thoughts, actions, and values are in harmony, life produces satisfaction naturally. Misalignment creates tension, frustration, and dissatisfaction. When you are living according to your principles, pursuing your purpose, and speaking truth to yourself, joy becomes a byproduct. It is not an accident, but a design. When you operate from a foundation of clarity, self-respect, and intentionality, happiness grows as naturally as health grows when the body is cared for. Both prosperity and happiness demand conscious attention to words. What you say about yourself, your life, and your future determines the reality you experience. Words are not passive. They carry energy, influence thinking, and attract consequences. Speaking with confidence, purpose, and authority sets the tone for action and response. Repeating affirmations like, "I am prosperous and I am joyful," is not wishful thinking. It is training the subconscious mind to operate in alignment with your highest identity. Every declaration reinforces the life you are creating, shaping your perception, your choices, and your results. Prosperity and happiness also require resilience. Life will challenge your plans, delay your progress, and test your faith. Those who achieve lasting prosperity and consistent joy do not avoid difficulty. They respond to it with clarity, patience, and determination. They maintain focus, manage emotions, and preserve vision when circumstances threaten to derail them. Wealth without resilience collapses under pressure. Happiness without resilience dissolves in adversity. To cultivate both, you must anchor yourself in principles, remain committed to growth, and refuse to yield to fear or impatience. As you step into 2026, recognize that prosperity and happiness are not distant goals. They are natural outcomes of identity, alignment, and disciplined action. The life you desire exists in the frequency of your mind, the integrity of your choices, and the consistency of your declarations. Every day, your words, your focus, and your actions either move you closer to or further from the life you are designed to live. Prosperity and happiness respond to presence, purpose, and alignment. And when these align within you, life begins to reflect the fullness of your potential. Everything in life begins with identity. Your words shape your mind. Your mind shapes your actions, and your actions shape your destiny. Wealth is drawn to a disciplined and value-driven mind. Health flows naturally from alignment and inner peace. Prosperity comes when your actions reflect your worth and purpose, and happiness emerges when your values, thoughts, and choices are in harmony. By declaring I am and truly believing it, you are reprogramming your entire being for success. You are not chasing luck or waiting for permission. You are activating the frequency of abundance, vitality, and joy. Every affirmation you speak, every choice you make, and every thought you hold builds the 2026 version of yourself, a version that attracts opportunities, maintains balance, and lives intentionally.